girl Cuthbert's adopted. We passed by her on the way to church.
Mrs. Lynn says she has a terrible temper.
I hear she talks a lot.
Jerry Booth, the Cuthbert's new hired hand, said he overheard her talking to the trees and flowers like a crazy girl.
When we passed by her, she's picking flowers and putting them in her hat. I think she ought to be putting something in her sleeves, like cups. You should see the dress she's wearing. It's so unfashionable.
Well, you're just looking at the outside things. She may be very nice inside.
Girls, may we please come to order? We have only a few minutes. Hello, you're late.
Yes, you see, I was waiting for Marilla, but she had a headache and couldn't come, so I had to find a way to church by myself.
Dallying all the while, I see, by picking flowers.
Yes, roses and buttercups. Aren't they lovely? Although pink and yellow aren't becoming to me, I know.
In the future, I suggest you pin bouquets on your dress where they belong, like the other girls.
Well, what's the difference where they're worn as long as they're worn? I'm sorry.
Now, as I was about to say before we were interrupted, we have only a few minutes today because of the guest minister who will be speaking at church. Now, open your quarterlies to this Sunday's question page, but do not look at the answers.
Yes, Miss Rogerson.
Now, I expect all of you, except for the new little orphan girl, of course, to know all the answers.
Yes, Miss Rogerson.
On which day did God create the fish and the fowls? Yes,
On the fifth day, God created the fish and the fowls.
that's right. Where was Cain sent after he had slain his brother Abel? Yes,
Cain was banished to the land of Nod, to the east of the Garden of Eden.
that's correct. Now, what punishment did God inflict upon the evil serpent? All right, you again.
The evil serpent was made to crawl on his belly and eat dust all the days of his life.
And she doesn't even have a quarterly. Child, how long have you been studying the Bible?
A week. Marilla's been teaching me.
You must be a fast learner.
Marilla's a fast teacher.
The girls in this class are encouraged to memorize and recite scriptural passages. Do you know any?
Only the Lord's Prayer, but I guess everyone can do that one. Oh, I can recite the dog at his master's grave. It isn't a truly religious piece, but it's sad and melancholy and might as well be.
I don't think that would be appropriate.
I understand, but I promise by next week I'll have lots of scripture to recite.
Probably the entire Old Testament. Time for church. Oh, one final item. In 2 weeks, there will be a Sunday school picnic in Mr. Harmon Andrews' field. And if you promise to know the answers to next Sunday's questions, as well as our little orphan girl knew them today, I think I can persuade Mrs. Bell and Mrs. Lynn to make ice cream. If you know the answers.
Yes, Miss Rogerson.
Now, don't dally. Go immediately to your pews in church. I understand the guest minister is quite punctual.
Yes, Miss Rogerson.
You're going to be late for church. Ice cream. I've never tasted ice cream before. Well, you will at the picnic. It's going to be near the pond where I live. Oh yes, the Lake of Shining Waters. Lake of Shining Waters? I like to give fancy names to things. You must be Diana Barry. I am. Marilla said you were pretty, but actually you're beautiful. Oh, I mean it. Oh, my name's Anne Shirley, spelled with an E at the end. I'd rather be called Cordelia, but Marilla says that would just confuse everybody. Well, I'm pleased to meet you, Anne. Likewise, I'm sure. We live very near each other. I'm at Green Gables. I know. It'll be nice to have someone to play with. No other girls live near me, and my sister Minnie May is too little. Then it's settled. What's settled? We can be bosom friends. I suppose so. Will you swear to be my bosom friend forever and ever? It's dreadfully wicked to swear, especially in a church. Not my kind of swearing. Just means promising solemnly. Well, that's okay then. How do you do it? We join hands. Now I'll say the oath first. I solemnly swear to be faithful to my bosom friend Diana Barry as long as the sun and the moon shall endure. Now you say, put my name in. I solemnly swear to be faithful to my bosom friend Anne Shirley for as long as the sun and the moon shall endure. I heard that you were a strange girl, Anne Shirley, but I think I'm going to like you real well.
Girls, time for church. Stop dallying.
We weren't dallying, Mrs. Rogerson. We were only swearing.
Should be on the right side of the third shelf. You can have that too. Raspberry cordial. Come in, Rachel. Now, the minute Diana leaves, you've got to get Matthew with a hired hand their supper. Be sure and keep your wits about you while you're cooking. And don't get suds on the floor like you did yesterday. Now, you and Diana have a nice visit.
Thank you for letting me have her over, Marilla. You're very kind to me.
There. Never mind your kissing nonsense. You'll please me most if you do what you're told. Time to go, Marilla. Hold your horses, Rachel. Oh, yes. After supper tonight, you can get started on your patchwork. Maybe you can finish it tonight. I hate patchwork. There's no imagination in it. I wish time was as fast when I'm sewing as it does when I'm playing with Diana. Now, is everything ready? Seems to be. Oh, the cordial. Let's see, right side, third shelf. I don't see it. Oh, this must be even harder. And glass. Good afternoon, Miss Barry.
The same to you, Miss Shirley.
How is your mother?
Very well, thank you. And Miss Cuthbert?
The same.
She is accompanying Mrs. Lane to the Ladies' Aid Society this afternoon. And Mr. Cuthbert?
He and hired hand, Mr. Bewitt, are hauling potatoes to the vessel. Our potato crop is very good this year. I trust your father's potato crop is the same?
It's fairly good, thank you.
Don't you just love to talk elegant?
Yes, it's so elegant.
Oh, we've ever so much to eat and drink, Diana. And the very best treat is Marilla's homemade raspberry cordial. You start with it. I'll have some fruit cake first.
This is so much fun. I'm so glad we're friends.
Bosom friends.
Of course.
Do you think Mr. Phillips will let us sit together when school begins?
He just has to. And if we're lucky, we'll be right across from Gilbert Blythe.
Well, who's Gilbert Blythe?
Just the handsomest and smartest boy in school. He teases the girls something terrible. Torments our lives out. It's wonderful. But he won't be in school the first week. He is visiting his cousins in New Brunswick.
Well, I'm so excited about school. I know I'll be able to manage the first week without the presence of Mr. Blythe. Oh, Diana, got a wonderful name for that little ring of birch trees where we built our playhouse. Idlewild. What do you think of it?
Oh, it's perfect. I'm enraptured by the name. Idlewild.
Oh, you finished your cordial? You must have some more.
It's the best raspberry cordial I've ever drank.
Everything Marilla makes is the best. She's teaching me to cook too, but I can assure you, Diana, it's all uphill. I start daydreaming and forget things, like when I forgot to put the sugar in the shortbread or the flour in the cake. And last week was the very worst. We had a plum pudding with sauce, and some was left over. So Marilla told me to put it in the pantry and cover it. Well, I forgot all about covering that sauce, and Diana, a mouse drowned in it.
Imagine, a mouse. May I please have another?
Oh, of course. So yesterday, Mr. and Mrs. Chester Ross of Spencerville were here, and Marilla served the pudding and sauce to them. Of course, I shrieked out, "You mustn't use that sauce! A mouse drowned in it!" I'm afraid I'm such a trial for Marilla. Why, Diana, whatever is the matter?
Oh, I don't feel very well. I think I'd better go home.
But we haven't had our tea yet. I'll give you this very minute.
I must go home.
Let me get you some fruitcake.
No.
Would you like to lie down in my room? Where do you feel bad?
Very dizzy. I must go home.
Oh, this is so disappointing. Here, let me help you. You must be getting pneumonia or something. Poor thing. Perhaps some fresh air will help. Steady. That's it. Steady.
We'll leave the rig right here for the time being, Jerry. Might as well let the mare cool off before we put her in the barn. Come on in. We can have a little bite to eat before we get back to work.
I thought you said those girls were having a tea party or something.
Well, they were, but it looks like they finished.
There's some nice leftovers here.
Help yourself. You should have put all this stuff away when they finished. It's not like her. Marilla would be mighty upset if she came home to a messy kitchen.
I had a good fruitcake.
And cookies. I think Anne made all this herself.
You're kind of fond of that girl, aren't you, Miss Cuthbert?
Well, Jerry, truth to tell, I always was a little afraid of women. Girls, too. Still am, for that matter. But Anne's different. She adds a lot around here, and she softened Marilla up a mite, too. Well, we better be getting back to work.
Just let me wash down this fruitcake.
Hold on there. Not with this, you don't.
What is it?
Wine. Homemade currant wine. We only serve this up on rare occasions. I wonder what it's doing now. A glass full or two of this stuff would make you drunk, Jerry. Mighty drunk. Let's go.
Drunk. Disgracefully and shamefully drunk.
But she only had a few glasses of raspberry cordial.
Raspberry cordial indeed. I never know wine when I smell it.
Wine? Oh no, I must have gotten out the wrong bottle. Oh, Mrs. Barry, please forgive me. I didn't mean to intoxicate Diana. Diana's drunk! Diana's drunk! Diana's drunk!
Shut up, May. I don't think I want Diana to play with you anymore.
But Mrs. Barry...
And you better cancel your plans. Sit with Diana when school begins.
Please, Mrs. Barry, this will surely cover my life in a dark cloud of woe.
I think I'm going to be sick.
Minnie May, help me get your sister to her room. As for you, young lady, I don't think you're a fit girl for Diana to associate with. Now please take your big words and dramatic gestures home with you and behave yourself.
Diana's drunk!